And we are back at the Oaks Cafe with Tiger Talk. If you're in the listening area, we appreciate you tuning into the program. And if you're in the immediate area, we'd like to personally invite you to come up to the Oaks Cafe and enjoy a hot meal and catch the second half of today's show, getting ready for tomorrow night's big game in Midfield, Alabama in round 2 of the playoffs. A couple of announcements to pass along. There's a pep rally tonight at 6 o'clock at the T.R. Miller High School Gymnasium. So if you're out and about and want to come up and get the Tigers fired up for their big playoff game tomorrow, be at the T.R. Miller High School Gym at 6 o'clock. We'd also like to recognize this week's sponsor of the Tigers pregame meal tomorrow. The Quarterback Club wants to thank this week's pregame meal sponsor, Goodway Refining, providing quality fuel to our area. Goodway wants to remind you to shop local businesses like Jet Pep, where you can fuel up with quality fuels. So thank you to Roger Chapman and Goodway Refining.
Thank you
For providing tomorrow's pregame meal for the Tigers. Goodway's already answered the call once this year, so they are a repeat provider of the pregame meal, Coach, and I know that you appreciate their support as always.
Absolutely, and we appreciate everybody that's done that and provided that for us this year.
Have a couple of special guests with us here tonight, and we were hoping to have Lance Gaines, affectionately known as Mr. G, the band of course, is getting ready. I think they're having practice as we speak, getting ready for the pep rally. But he was good enough to send up a couple of his seniors, and I'm going to give you guys a chance to introduce yourself, let those listening in know who a couple of our senior band members are.
I'm Dylan Etheridge. I'm the drum major this year.
I'm Derek McClellan. I'm the band captain.
Barrett or Derek? Derek?
McClellan.
Derek McClellan. Very good. Dylan, I'm going to start with you, and of course you're the drum major, and I'll tell you what, Coach, I'm going to start with you.
You're going to start with me.
Start with you. You've been down there on the sidelines for many years now, and one constants other than Andrew Johnson down through the years has been the T.R. Miller Band and their powerful sound they put out each and every Friday night, and they are a big boost as far as kind of setting the tone in the stadium, and have always been there to support the Tigers regardless of how the game may be going, and I'm sure they'll do it again tomorrow night.
I'll be getting a hearing aid at the end of the season because I can't hear anymore because the band's so loud. I'm telling you, they can do it. They can do it. And here's the deal, all right? I don't know how that number can play that loud. I just don't think it's possible. I think they've got some speakers with some other music lit up or something up in there because, and when we get on those smaller stadiums where they're right behind me, I can't hear a thing, the whole game. But the one thing I can tell you is, this band knows when to play and when to be quiet. And they know when the other team has the ball and they're driving and we need a little music.
I tell you, and that's going to lead me into our first guest, Dylan Etheridge. You talking about the band kind of being spot on as far as when they play and what they play and how they play. Dylan, has a football background, had a couple of brothers that played up there with the good ball players, Nick and Tyler. And I think that Dylan does help set the tone. He kind of can see how the game's flowing and can probably see your facial expression from time to time, like valve it off or let's get this thing going. But the noise they do put out, and you talked about the smaller stadiums. Over in XL was the one that stood out to me.
I had a problem over in XL.
We were across the field in the press box, and you could hear, you could feel the sonic boom. Coming in the press box, you were just backpedaling, trying to get away from it. They do put out a lot of noise, and it's fun to listen to them. And of course, their pregame is always exciting to watch them come in. I know the home fans enjoy that. And I want to thank the T.R. Miller Band as a whole, but you two guys as seniors for all that you do to make the T.R. Miller football experience what it is for our entire community. So thanks for what you do. And Dylan, I'm going to start with you. Talk about being a senior, being the drum major. You're kind of the pace setter. We've talked about leadership on the football team. You're going to be you're obviously one of the leaders, you and Derek both being a band captain. Talk about the experience and what it's been like to be in the band this year.
It's definitely fun. It's different being one of the people that is up at the top now. People like you see ninth graders looking up to you all the time, asking you if they can help you, give you a hand. Mr. G is always looking around for a senior to help him do something. It's nice to know that you're up there at the top this year.
How about the fact that you're performing in front of and playing in support of an 11-0 football team? That kind of makes it extra special also, doesn't it?
It's great. I wouldn't have it any other way for my senior year. Supporting the team, watching them go undefeated, it's been great. I hope to see another good ball game tomorrow night, see another victory come out.
Thanks, Dylan. Derek, going to bring you in real quick. And, of course, you're one of the seniors. You're one of the band captains. Let's talk about Mr. Gaines just a little bit and kind of the enthusiasm he's brought to the band. And he has a high energy level. I've watched him at practice also. You know, he gets pretty animated at different times, very encouraging to all the band students. Talk about him and kind of the influence he's had on the band and what you think about him as a teacher and a leader.
Yeah, Mr. G, he's a great teacher. He's really enthusiastic. It's always great when you have people up there that are help enthusiastic, like help them, like get everybody pumped up, all the seniors and leaders.
I'll tell you something that may get lost, you know, as far as when you ride by the stadium during the summer with the practice field being on Belleville, people see the practice time the football field puts in the summer when it's hot and everybody else may be at the beach or the lake or fishing or whatnot. Talk about the schedule for band students during the summer. You guys have a couple of an in-house band camp. You put in the time also, just in a little different way.
Yes, sir. It's about 2 months before school starts. We go 8 hours a day, morning and nights practices, and 5 days a week.
Very good. Dylan, going to bring you back in. At what point in time did you think that you were going to aspire to be the drum major, and talk about that experience and some of your responsibilities? I mean, do you set the play schedule for the pep rallies? Does the band work that in conjunction with the cheerleaders? How does that set up?
Well, that's basically I relay the message. I'll say that's what we're playing in the pep rally, get it ready, and then we'll get, usually before the pep rally, we're getting there about 15, 20 minutes early, and we'll jam out to whatever we're not going to play in the pep rally and everybody get a good experience coming in for the pep rally.
Well, I'll tell you, I've made it to the I've been to a pep rally or two this year, and the time to be there is actually before the pep rally starts. The pep rallies are great, but when y'all start jamming over there, 10 minutes out, I mean, it gets going there pretty good. I mean, it's almost like a rock concert in there, and you guys do an excellent job preparing your music and, of course, performing at the pep rallies in addition to the game. One of the things that I experienced this year that I have not in the past, just hadn't had a chance to go up there, was the Dixieland Band Festival. I actually took my daughter up there that Saturday. I was able to watch some of the bands perform. Sometimes she wants to play football, sometimes she wants to cheer, and sometimes she wants to be a majorette. So kind of in that process of figuring she may want to go one day. But I love the Dixieland Band Festival. I think that is a fundraiser for you guys.
It is. Right now we're planning a trip in the spring. We're going to go, I think, to Orlando, and we're raising money for that right now. Dixieland will go towards that. I
enjoyed watching all the bands perform, but one of the special treats up there was the bunch from Mobile University or Mobile College, the Ram Corps. If people in the area hadn't seen them perform, they are missing something special. I mean, I was overwhelmed by the quality of those musicians and what they were able to put together. Talk about that experience, getting to watch them. Is that anything that the folks in the Tower Miller Band ever aspire to be a part of?
It is, but like Ram Corps, they're a performing arts group. So if you go down there, you're in the band and you perform. They go to churches on Sunday mornings and they perform there. They go around to competitions like they came to ours and they do that. And then in July, our band took a group of kids to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and we watched an actual drum corps show. It was professional bands. There were 15 there, I think. And that inspired a lot of people. That's part of the reason why we had such a jump start this year. Whenever a band came around, everybody that went to that was like, we want to be like that this year. So it's one of the things that's inspired us.
Well, y'all have definitely been awesome each and every week. And Derek, I want to bring you back in just real quick. Of course, to the Dixieland Band Festival, you guys are the host band. Y'all just perform, if I'm correct, as an exhibition band only. You can't be graded or win awards or things of that nature. What are some of the contests that y'all have gone to as a competing band?
Oh, we went to Rehoboth, Alabama for their festival down there, and Foley, Alabama, where Mr. Major is currently band director up there.
Y'all have already performed at those two contests?
Yes, sir.
How'd we do there?
Straight Superiors. Yes, sir. Both of them.
Straight Superiors?
Yes, sir, and the most entertaining.
Except for the drum major.
Yeah, I can believe that. I hit it.
He slacked just a little bit.
Well, one thing that Dylan did last week, Dylan actually had a couple of guest conductors up there with him. I saw Tyler go up and take a set or maybe a song.
Oh, goodness.
And then I'm going to have to get him because he's sitting here in front of me. I love him. I came to find out it was Ryan Gray. He was in a spandex suit. You couldn't see the face. It was solid red, had a red wig on. And Mary B and I were in the press box, and we were off the air, and Ryan walked up, and I said, "Who is that?" And she said, "I think that's Ryan Gray." And I said, "There's no way." that an 18-year-old can have a body that looks that bad in a spandex suit. I said, that's not the physique of an 18-year-old. It's got to be, 22, 23, somebody. Goodness. So, Rhino, you're my buddy, but you got to get some push-ups or something going if we're going to get a spandex suit. Ryan's another one of those, been a big supporter of the Tigers each and every season, each and every game. I've seen him, trying to work the crowd and, of course, the pep rallies, and it just seems like there's been a good more spirit within the school at the football games this year, not years past, but I've always believed that the band is kind of the pace setter as far as establishing that school spirit along with the cheerleaders, and both of you guys have done a great job as far as kind of setting the pace for the others, and appreciate what you do for the TR Middle football experience. That's going to bring us to another short break, and we want to thank once again Dylan and Derek being here with us, and I look forward to listening to you guys again tomorrow night. Stay with us. We have more TR Miller football on the way. You're listening to Tiger Talk on 106.3.